So, in my trading journey, I have come into forms of successes, right? And I am always thinking about connections, making money, uh, new ideas. However, the problem is come from a low income household, right? Which kind of stopped me from making connections, meeting the right people, or just having the circle that there is a lot of talent around me, which is not the case, right? So that is the problem of coming up for most first gen people. And normally, the first gens that you do see that are wildly successful, they that are like uh, multimillionaires, billionaires, have uh, that type of status, right? They mostly come from successful families that come successful families that they came from, right? Their parents came to America, probably doctors, lawyers, um, investors, etc., right? And they put their kids through good education, meaning they were in good school districts. Um, they grew up in a lifestyle where it attracted other people with similar lifestyles, right? Where my lifestyle attracted people from lower bottom class, right? How I grew up, right? So I'm at this point of my life where I am the successful, in my opinion, where um, I have the resources, however, I don't have any of the connections, right? And um, that just every day it's kind of a battle now. Just thinking of what I can do or how I can make that connections, right? And I know maybe as I get older, it might fix itself, right? It might, I might find something when I'm older, but I just wanted to make this video for people that are young, and are in the similar shoes, right? Young meaning I am 19, right? So, and I come from a very low income household, where eventually like Snap, EBT, and stuff, right? So that's what we used, right? So you have to very be. Uh, so if you guys are in that similar situation, and that you have reached success to the point where you're making a good amount of money, or you found a career path, right? That you're making a good amount of money, um, and you just can't take the next steps or apply the resources that you have now to new ventures, etc., that this video is for you. And I've thought about a lot of it, right? So like most of the sort of 90% of the people that are successful today, they come from established families, and that's very true, right? Probably more than 90%. I know there's just some few people that were able to make those connections coming from Snap and stuff, like those low income households, right? There's obviously few people, but again, it is incredibly hard, and that's what I'm saying. I'm 19, so I'm hoping in the next couple of years I do meet those connections, etc. Um, but what I really think is it be us being like it being like the gen our gener like our generation being like a tree, right? So basically our parents planted the seeds, we basically grew the tree, right? And then we have the branches, our kids, right? So that is what I believe my purpose is, until if I do not meet those connections, or if I am unable to become of a I don't want to say like this, but like having over 50 million, 100 million, that type of wealth, right? I believe anyone can, even if you come from a low income household, anyone can be a millionaire, right? But it's that reaching that level of wealth for 50, 100, 150, 200 million. That's the level of wealth where you need the connections, right? And you need to meet the people. and that comes from the tree, the tree branch, right? You meeting the so what? Because my parents are the seeds, and now I'm gonna be the tree branch, right? And then my kids are gonna be the no, I'm gonna be the trunk or whatever the big brown things are, right? And then my kids are gonna be the branches, right? That makes sense. So that's my goal now, and that actually helped me calm myself down because I would always be under stress. Like, how do I do this? How do I make this app? Do, um, how do I meet my engineers? How do I meet the people that I need to make the app? Or how do I, you see what where I'm getting at, right? So it is very, or how do I meet like-minded people? Or how do I meet people that are in the similar spot as me, right? So that's where I am, and the thought of me being the tree hunk or the tree parts of, I'm gonna search that up right now. Parts of a tree. Parts of a tree. The trunk. Oh my god, I was right. Okay, so like again, my parents are the seeds, right? They're gonna be the roots, right? Then I'm gonna be the trunk, right? Then my kids are gonna be the branches, right? That makes sense. And they're gonna be the crown. That's the whole thing, right? So that's what my purpose I believe now, and that has stopped me from overthinking a lot, and it just allowed me to enjoy my life now because I believe my income, right? I can give my kids the life that they deserve, and help put them in places where they need to be to make the connections to level up and become the 50, 100, 150, 200 millionaires, right? Even billionaires, right? Um, and because if you come from a family, like suppose I make 3 million a year, right? I can put my kids through um, a good house, a good education, good schools, right? And they can do things that they meet the connections that they need. They're basically gonna do what I couldn't, right? Um, and because they're gonna be given the resources I never had, right? Um, so that's what my idea is, and that's why I want to settle down, maybe find a wife, maybe have kids, and I want to have them young, so because I understand the model, right? The most of the successful people you meet today, their parents were already rooted in America. They came from pretty good families, um, and that allowed them to be able to be a butterfly in the sense, right, and fly, right? So that's what I want to be for my kids, right? um, that's really what is keeping me motivated, and that's what I think of mostly now. And I'm gonna actually play this video back. I'm just doing it because of memories, right? But that is the common thing for first gen people, right? And that's what you should understand. Know that you don't have to do it all, right? Just lay the groundwork, be the trunk, and then your kids are gonna be the crown, okay? The branches, the twig, the leaf, the foliage, the fruit, right? Your children are gonna bear fruit, right? So ultimately being the crown. It says the parts of a tree: the leaf, the twig, the branch, the fruit, the foliage equals the crown. So that's basically life. Isn't it weird how nature is so connected to us humans and how it's so similar in the way we think? God is amazing, okay? Whoever God did create the world, so like like he must be years ahead, or not years. Like he's like, you know what I mean? He's like the all-knowing. He is the all-knowing. Oh my god, I'm just getting myself in a hole. Anyways, so that is my motivation, and that's why I actually like can enjoy life at the moment, right? But before I could never enjoy life because I would always be thinking like, oh my god, I'm so far behind. I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't know how, right? So my idea now is just to make the most amount of money by doing what I'm doing right now, which is trading, which is actually the thing I find in love with. Oh, also, by the way, most jobs they're gonna be taken over by AI, AGI, or whatever the hell that there's coming in. Give it 10 years, right? I think most of the jobs that you see will be taken over. So your time to make money is very limited. Um, I think if you get to the 5 mil mark, that's pretty comfortable, and you can set yourself up. Your kids are good up with that, right? Put them through a good elementary, put them through a good high school. Um, Preferably in some type of state that is very rich. It's all about being smart and planting your trees, right? Like in New York, I live in New York right now. Don't, I might, yeah, I might put my kids through private, right? So that's what the way is, right? You have to really invest in your kids. Um, that or just move somewhere out of state, where, yeah, move out of state somewhere like Florida, maybe California, where all the people with connections are, right? And just stay, plant your pl- plant your roots there, become the trunk, right? And that's about it. But I don't know. I mean, that's that like the kids thing. That's my idea, right? But also anything can happen. I'm only 19. I can meet people when I'm 30, right? I have so much time, right, to become the billionaire or 100 millionaire, right? So I have time. I have ideas. And if God wants me to happen in this generation, for me to happen in this generation, to become a billionaire in this generation, then it'll happen, right? But if it doesn't, I know it's gonna be my kids, and that's why I'm gonna have like 10 kids, right? 10 fruits to bear, right? Um, but yeah, did you guys enjoy this talk? It's like this was on my mind. For people that, for mainly people that grew up poor and now found some level of success, and now they are kind of stuck and don't know what's next, and don't know um, how to level up, right? Because there's always levels. Just because you make a million, or that this, you're still at the bottom of the levels. Like, look at the people richer than you, bro. There's like so much wealth, right? You're just richer than the poor people, right? But you're not richer than the richer people, right? Um, you can live by being rich means you're being kind of comfortable, right? But being wealthy is a different type of meaning, right? Wealthy is when you're richer than the rich, right? That makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of funny, but that's what my mindset is. So my mindset right now, if nothing does happen for me in this life, just to have kids, that's it. Finding a good wife is kind of hard now, I'm not gonna lie. So I might settle for a gold digger, who knows? But it's the ultimate goal after the wife, it's the kids, right? um, that's where you should go all in, right? I realize like uh, maybe because I'm back in New York, but it's super hard to find the girl you want. Um, and I actually get bored of girls pretty quick. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be trying though. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna try to explore other options, right? I'm gonna try to my best to build the wealth, right? Uh, but if it doesn't happen, then it's gonna be definitely my kids, and that's the goal. Set your kids up for success. Okay. Um, but anyways, thanks for the real talk. Um, the, this is the real talk that I'm having with y'all. Uh, which is on my mind. Anyway, see ya.